How's it going, everyone? This is Luxeley. I'm in Arathi Basin, and I'm very hungry. So don't mind me. I'm going to perform a little magic. I'm talking and eating at the same time. How many people do that and I sound articulate? It's called magic. But I'm in Arathi Basin. I'm going to call this Mind Blasting in Arathi Basin. That's what the title is, but between you and I, we'll call it Blasting the Mindless in Arathi Basin. There I go again with this not so subtle shot at the Horde. Actually, it's not subtle at all. It's very direct. But I'm going to head over to Blacksmith. Usually the fights converge either Blacksmith or Lumber Mill. 4 Horde here, one of which is a healer, which I sort of focus. Sort of, kind of. Because I have to give everybody a dot. I'm an equal dot employer, so I have to dot up everybody because it just wears it down. It puts a lot of pressure on healers. And how this Elemental Shaman is still alive here is amazing to me. He's rooted and locked into a solar beam, and yet he's still healing, which is just pretty much amazing to me. And soon he's going to be getting a little bit more aid. There you go, Life Cocoon. But he'll eventually go down. It happens, you know. But how he's living through that is pretty amazing, and I don't understand why he didn't use like his Thunderstorm to knock people off the flag. That's one of the biggest advantages that an LE Shaman has in a Capture the Flag scenario. I remember back in Kata when I did RPGs on my Elemental Shaman occasionally, I used to love guarding a base because you pop some totems, you do some chain lightning, crazy stuff. You can defend pretty damn well, plus the knockback that you have every 45 seconds, 40 seconds, whatever it is, whatever it was at that time. Pretty damn strong, pretty decent. Now they're, you know, pretty much porcelain dolls. Except for this guy, for some reason he doesn't die. Oh, look at a rogue. Yeah, nice. You stunned me. Great. Now you're a sheep. How's it feel being a sheep? I just wanted to ask you. Just curious about that. So it's a pretty equal match. They have 3 healers. We have 2. Or strike that, reverse it. And once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 6 or 7 of them at Blacksmith, which means something's got to be open, and hopefully somebody out there is going to take advantage of that. So here they're not focusing me. They are. That's why I called this, or didn't call it, but calling it with you guys, Blasting the Mindless in Arathi Basin, because they never focus me. They just never, ever focus me. Even in RPGs, they don't focus me that much. And if you noticed, I'm running with a little bit of a different build here, just simply because in RPGs at the 1800 level, I was noticing that my Vampiric Touch was getting dispelled like crazy. And that's even with having 2 Affliction locks in the group. They didn't care. They just like, dispel it, dispel it, dispel it. So what I started to do, I was rolling with Twisted Fate and Mind Flay. But now, since all of a sudden these Enhancement Shaman are popping up, I'm getting locked out of Shadow quite a bit using that. So there's always just something that's going to make you vulnerable in this game, unless you're a Death Knight, of course, or if you're Darth Vader. Then you're very rarely vulnerable if you're Darth Vader, because then just everything is just very easy for you if you're Darth Vader. Just like BGs are very easy. Oh, look who it is. Speaking of the devil.
All too easy.
Well said. Well, we got Blacksmith. Now we got 3 bases. They have 1. Looking pretty good so far. Now I'm just going to do what I rinse and repeat at the farm. And I noticed something very, very interesting here at the farm. As you could see, there are no pumpkins around. Just keep that in mind. There's no pumpkins. This is called awareness. It only took me 7 years to figure this out. That's not bad. 7 years for me to figure this out, right? So the Horde, right now the base is neutral. It's about to turn to the Horde, okay? And we're hanging out a farm, waiting. Now, eventually, we're going to cap this base because we're very strong and overpowering. Look at this druid, perfectly out of position, by the way. And when you see someone out of position like this, it's very good to focus them down because they can't get any heals. And if they try to get away, they're either going to get more out of position or put themselves back in position. Now that we have farm, take a look. The pumpkins are there. I never noticed that before. It took, I mean, how many of you guys noticed that if the pumpkins are there, Alliance has the farm? If the pumpkins are not there, I'm not sure if it's the Horde have the farm or it's neutral. It's one of the two. I have to see what happens when the Horde have the farm. But like I said, it only took me 7 years to figure this out. Oh, gosh. WoW's really hard sometimes, you know? It really is. Now I have something to tell the guild psychologist. I don't understand why the pumpkins weren't there. Oh, it's Darth again. Did we just see him before?
All too easy.
You got that right. I was being sarcastic when I said WoW was hard, by the way. So now it looks like we have a few bases more than they do, which means that we are earmarked to win. Now, it's always a good sign when I see these three little signs above the heads here. You got the upside-down green triangle, the orange condom, and the skull. Essentially, that means you're in a pre-made, and generally pre-mades are either really good or they're really bad. There's just like one of the two. It's either a bunch of people that are on their ults trying to get them geared, or a bunch of people like, hey, let's go wreck stuff. Yeah, that's a great idea. So they get together and they put symbols on their heads and they wreck stuff. And there's the pumpkins. How many of you guys really knew that about the pumpkins? So I was just at Blacksmith. Trust me, I was just there. And now I figured I'd go to mine because I knew there was some action here, and then someone casts Blacksmith. Had to be a rogue or just somebody who's got stealth, because simply put, I was just there. I didn't see anybody. I was like, okay, you're good here. And the guy just looked like he was AFK, but I was just like, screw it. It's not in my contract to cover bases, at least in regular BGs it's not. And if you want me to do it in RBGs, that's just bad allocation of resources, but whatever. I'll do it. I'll be a team player. Take one for the team. 3 bases to 1. They're about to cap 1 more, so yeah, we got a pretty big lead, like almost a 400 or 500 point lead. We're looking pretty good for the win. I would think so. What do you guys think? Think I'm gonna win? I've been known to occasionally show some losses. I really have. I do that. You know, some YouTubers will not put themselves in an uncompromising or compromising, whatever it is, a bad situation, basically. They won't do it. They'll just, oh, look at me, I went 25-0 with my 2 healers and, 2 pocket DPS to setting up kills. I'm great. Where's my healer? I don't have one. Darth, I'm talking. You just gotta, what the hell? You gotta pop in and interrupt me and say the same stupid thing each time. Yes, I get it. It's easy. Easy in BGs. Easy in RBGs for Shadow Priest. Once again, look at the Druid out of position. Look at him. Burst him down. Take him out. He's out of position. Now, he's going to move when he starts getting that kind of pressure. And he's either going to move, in this case, the right way to where he's in position, or he's going to get himself further out of position and out of the fight. So whenever you see someone out of position, it's a quick takeout. There's no possible way that guy's getting heals. And if you focus him, there's no possible way that he's going to be able to defend that. So that's where I'm standing. It's not always 100% of the time, focus the healer, focus the healer, focus the healer. No. I think it's better to CC the healer and focus someone who's out of position. Those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments. And I'm talking BGs and talking RBGs. I'm not necessarily talking Arena. But I would think that's more so the case in Arena. So, looks like we're winning. Yeah, we're winning. Gonna go back to farm. You see? And look, the Horde have the farm, and there's no pumpkins. Wow, I just learned something today. Granted, it's useless information. There's absolutely nothing I can do with it. There's nothing I could profit from it. It's useless. But that's me. I'm the king of useless information. If I was on Jeopardy and useless things Luxeley knows was a category, I would win every single time. But of course, that doesn't take place in your world. That doesn't take place in my world. So therefore, the information that there's no fucking pumpkins at farm when the Horde have it means nothing. And here's a really sad thing about this. It only took me 7 years. 7 years of playing WoW to realize this. And if anybody has any idea how many BGs I've done, I mean, I have well over 130,000 kills just on this tune. My other Shadow Priest is 30,000. I mean, it's just numbers are astronomical. I've done so many BGs, so many RBGs, and I've never noticed this before. 7 years. That's just being... I put it this way. I am not going to be putting in an application for the CIA or the FBI. That's just a fact. I don't know enough about I don't know anything, really. I don't know why that just fascinates me right now. Leave it in the comments. Let me know if you've ever noticed that the pumpkins are there when the Alliance has the farm, and the pumpkins are not there when the Horde have the farm. Yeah, it took me 7 years to figure that out. Congratulations, you got me CC'd for a solid 4, 5, 6 seconds. I'm getting some heals. Now I gotta kill these rogues. Why do rogues always hang out in twos? I don't understand. Here's a tip for you guys. Gonna tell you something. One of my subscribers pointed out to me that Shadow Priests got a buff. And of course, when Shadow Priests get a buff, it always goes under the radar. It always looks meaningless on paper. And quite frankly, it appears to be a non-event. And that's precisely the case with this particular buff. But once again, in application, in reality, in actuality, it's not insignificant. They took a solid 3 seconds off Weakened Soul, so instead of it being 11 seconds, it's now 8 seconds. That means if you're glyphed for Reflective Shield, which I usually am, more damage. That if you have the talent where you get the speed boost from your shield, that means more shields. More shields, defenses. It's a pretty huge buff.